I'll share with you briefly. So after basically a 12 to 16 month investment in this, we started to see some very positive results. Applications up, admissions up, financial aid is up. This is going through our 10-11 year. So in year one, we saw about a 10% increase in applications, about a 7% increase over that year before. And as we were rounding out this year and writing down our numbers as we transition into our new year, the next column is going to be right scratching the surface of about 20,000, and that's where we think we should be as an institution. We think this is in large part to working with the CRM platform and to actually talking to students that drove themselves to us and wanted to connect, and the fact that we are connecting. At over a 10% increase in admitted applications from those 2 years, so the control year and then the first year we're in business. And this past year we're just finishing off as well was very healthy, but somewhat influenced by the fact that we've put in a new student information system this year, which posed some challenges for about a month. But we're back on track, and the trajectory of those admissions are looking very, very good. What was most dramatic, and as you heard my boss say, within 6 months we saw a 25% increase in our financial aid awarded. And then looking from across that time period when we kept ramping up, there's been an 82% increase. And as we put in this year's numbers, we're going to be scratching the surface of about 27 million this year. So that same growth curve is there. This is all, forget about the millions, I think it's all about the trend. It's all about efficiencies and making sure students have their questions answered quickly, straight to the point, and allowing our financial aid counselors to actually be financial aid counselors and make sure they're working, making sure everybody's packaged up. And what we're seeing is that basically all of the transmittals are done in a very short period of time, whereas they were drawn out over several weeks as the term started in the past. So the phones are actually ringing less because people know they have an award. They're actually getting a text message that tells them they've had an award. So we've turned that whole operation around. So we've gone from having high volume, low productivity, having our stakeholders and customers very frustrated and disengaged to the point that they weren't persisting in their education, and just the basics, long hold times when people would call in. Much longer than 45 minutes, Craig, much longer than the Excelsior hold times. And it was rough when you would walk out of the office in the afternoon and walk past the financial aid suite and see the counselors still there at 5:30 with their hands on their head. It shouldn't be that way. And all they wanted to do was help students. We've helped balance that out for them. And you can see where we've gone with that. And we've had days where we've awarded over $3 million, and all that's just because of the efficiency in that organization. And the last problem that was identified on that problem slide was inability to market programs. We really had an inability to scale up marketing because if we went and made major investments in marketing, we would have no idea or no mechanism really to capture those leads and follow up with them. Now we have a very solid foundation. We are now expanding marketing opportunities. We're doing all those various parts of the marketing mix, SEO, SEM, traditional media, community, corporate relations, all of those activities. And now we have a solid CRM to help back that up and to help us track where we're being most effective. It's really allowed us to grow within the social media world as well. Demand Engine, who is downstairs, as well as one of our strategic partners with our search engine marketing efforts. And it's amazing to be able to capture all those leads directly from those RFIs, and those folks are getting a phone call in less than 12 hours. They're getting a phone call back. And this is an award we just received. I think Becky can speak to a bit.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention University Business has a model of efficiencies that they do. It's something that I'd submitted a few initiatives to and didn't hear back from them, so I challenged the directors on our team to do so. And just wanted to mention, because two of them are here today, Christine and Arash worked on something that we received award for. So what they did was they used IntelliWorks to solve a problem financial aid was having. They were just casually talking to Christine one day about how they handled their scholarship applications, and it was like a PDF form and then tracking in Excel. It took them about 25 minutes or more to handle each application. She's like, we can just put that into an app and IntelliWorks, and then you guys can track it in there. And they did. It takes them 2 or 3 minutes. It's a very professional interface for the students when they're applying for scholarships. So just wanted to give them a shout out. And two, these guys make this stuff happen that we're talking about. We're privileged because we get to talk about it, but really they're the ones who make it happen. So thank you guys, and congrats on that. Creative way to use the CRM, I think.
Yes, yeah, so it never stops, leveraging the CRM. And this is just, obviously we all work with the funnel every day. I like to turn the funnel on its side. I think the funnel in its basic concept psychologically makes it okay to lose students somehow. So we've put this kind of on its side, and this is how we look at it as an organization. And we looked at where we were prior to. So the numbers in blue across the bottom as we go across were the baselines. Before we started this CRM project, before we started the Ops Center, before we restructured and plugged different groups and teams together and rewrote job descriptions, we're about 18% inquire to apply. Now, keep in mind, once again, we don't buy names, so these folks have found us, responded to marketing, and have entered the system. And we set a goal to actually convert at 35%. Madman, crazy, 35%. And we're actually starting to pass through about 23, 24% right now. So we're doing better. Apply to accept for us is not necessarily a measure of selectivity. We're not open enrollment, but apply to accept was really a measure of how well we conducted the admissions business. Did we reach out to folks that were incomplete? Did we try and get them to complete? And we set a goal for 80+%, and in year 2 we hit 84% and surpassed that goal. And accept to enroll, we were at 65%, and we had set an 85+% goal there as well, and we're just starting to hit maybe 70% there. But that onboarding, some folks mentioned onboarding in your problems poll, and that onboarding still is an issue for us as well. The great news is all the activities that we've talked about over the past 45 minutes, our front-end pipeline is full of good, qualified students. So the fact that we're responding to them, talking to them, the application side of the house is very, very healthy. And it's not from going out and trying to find people walking down the street and trying to get them into the fold. And we continue to look at retention, as everybody does in this room. That was identified as well up there several times. And we're doing this through the addition of a dedicated team for retention, dedicated position for retention, and primarily through enhanced communications. We have not partnered with a vendor on retention as of yet. And those arrows there, of course, now that we're able to do more marketing, we can fill up that inquiry pool even more, and we can work positively towards raising those conversions. One other great, I guess, evidence of the partnership that exists between marketing and enrollment management at Embry-Riddle and the technology services team is our dashboard system. So this fits that accountability and that transparency model very, very well. All of our campuses, actually anybody in the organization can go in at any time, any day, 24 hours a day, and look at their local level performance. How many prospects do they have in the mix? Apps, admits, new students, continuing students, number of graduates that year, by program, by degree type, by male, female. They can look at this and scroll through it at any given point. Every one of those 150 locations in our worldwide empire has new student targets, they have registration targets, they have goals to meet, and they can see where they are against those goals at any time. So can their dean, so can their VP of enrollment, so can the president, if he so chooses. And it's actually one of the favorite tools of our CFO as well, that loves looking at this stuff. So it is pretty amazing. So we can go out and look at it dynamically, drill down into different regions, drill down to campuses, or export this all out instantly to Excel and manipulate it and figure out where you are on your trajectory. So really, I think the overarching message today is about how valuable it is to have a close working relationship and a partnership that is, it's not always fun, that can always be challenging, to take the brain power that exists on the technology side and the expertise that exists on the enrollment side, and figuring out how we can get together to reach what is seemingly impossible many times in terms of the numbers that are put on our shoulders. And we're having a pretty fun time doing it at Embry-Riddle. Actually, it's been a lot of work. We're having a pretty fun time doing it.